Peace and love, family. Peace and love, peace and love. Gave by the chance to come on. Everybody chance to come on. We're gonna give everybody a chance to come on. All right. And we got some good stuff for y'all today. I don't plan to keep y'all long. Did I turn the fan off? I must have. Time to turn that fan on, huh? How about it? All right, here we go. Put that on screen for y'all. So I hope everybody is having an awesome day. I'm going to wait a little bit, give everybody a chance to get on. We'll put some music on as well while we're waiting. So let me just do this, matter of fact. Oh shit, I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. Gotta go back to this. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, so peace and love to everybody, man. Peace and love. Hope everybody's having an awesome, wonderful day. There's some words I would use, but I'm staying away from certain words because they will switch. They don't, boy. There's so much wordplay. My dogs are going off outside. Our dogs are going off outside. Right now, we're gonna put some music on. Give people some time to get in here. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Got my little buddy over here, our buddy over here, really. Sometimes he goes and hangs out, and then sometimes he's over here. That's right, supposed to be doing. Okay, so I hope all is well, man. I really do. With everybody. Yep. So today we want to get right into it. We're going to get right into a couple of things. First off, I'll start off by giving a simple explanation because I know a lot of, I just killed those things. I just came back. A lot of y'all are, how do I say it? Y'all are learning and you're coming to the point of the epitome that some of us have had a long time ago. Everybody has their epitome at different times. And that epitome is, besides the fact you understand that the Earth is obviously a prison planet. By realizing the food would be prison food. The clothes, I'm using that name brand because they represent a lower vibration. All name brand clothes represent a lower vibration. The color they have in jail, if you notice, is the color of a low vibration. So you, as fancy as you think you are, which is why I stopped really caring about dressing up and stuff. I'm gonna get back to dressing up, but I'm gonna try to find stuff that's not name brand. Why? Why would you do that? Skip all that. Man, my phone does what it wants. Sometimes y'all know. All right. Where was I? Okay, thank you, Ethan. You know I get sidetracked. Pause. All right. So the clothes, because they're name brand, they have a lower vibration. The color they use in jail, the jumpsuit, is a lower vibration as well. This is why you will finally starting to realize it, because your body, which is a good thing, your body is the soul. You are the spirit. You live in that body. That is your vehicle. You driving around, if you want to call it that. It's really a piece of energy, which is a bunch of atoms, which are liquid. They're not solid, but the pairs are solid. Like the good Papa said, the pairs be real, but it's not. Seems real, but it's not. Okay. Of course, it's a lot more elegant than that. I usually say it the exact way that he said it. But today, I just try to keep it a little more simple. Starting to realize what some brothers have told me, and I've heard from somebody else now that, oh man, I don't know how to say it correctly, how the person said it to me recently. But I'll say how one of the brothers said it. Because, there's so much thing in his head that sometimes that you forget some things and hear it later. It's tough. You guys will understand when you get there. And some of you guys that are there, women, when I say guys and women and men, not just men. I don't mean men like they're men, because we're really not what you would call that. We're not ether light beings. And people get that confused a lot. A lot of teachers get it confused a lot, particularly. And that's really dangerous. But moving on, now your body, because the goal is to make your body, you and yourself, you and your body one. And obviously, if your body has a tether to you, because you attach your life source and your body is still attached or attached to this planet, then there's a problem with that, because we formed this body and to be attached. This has happened, man, over mistakes of trusting that the enemy want to do right. Okay, that's unfortunately didn't always work that way. So we have to now. You've been learning everything back in reverse. In other words, rewinding what you got to remember everything, kind of deal. So if you can kind of understand, because now you're learning everything all over again. So you have been learning backwards. You got it from that Christianity bullshit, and you went into the Hebrew Israelite shit. So that's kind of how you've been learning. Okay, not been learning the particular way you think you would have been learning. So, and that's a very important key. Now, to go further, if you go as far as the web, this is how it was done, and we'll get to that in a minute. Tiny particles. It's a little deep in that, but that's just a rough draft. However, to give you more information, the World Wide Web is more than just in the world or the matrix you live in. The World Wide Web is also a digital energy web that you can't see unless you have certain machines, technology, I guess you would say, um, for that, to be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, and then because of that web is surrounded around the earth that you can't see, it would be what you call a spirit catcher. You don't want to call it a soul catcher because your body is still attached to this place. You want the goal is to get it from being attached to this place. Okay, that's the main goal. So it's really there's a point in time to everybody, to certain people wake up. That is true, but you can also jump ahead, and that's a cheat code. It's the same code I told y'all, and I don't think a lot of folks were listening to me about it. Still, ask the ether to teach you, and it will speed up everything everybody's learning now. You'd have known that when I knew it way back, when everybody thought it was crazy. You get to the point where if you try to tell anybody anything, literally anybody, just about anybody, it don't matter who it is, they're not even going to hear you, and they don't even realize how far ahead you are. So it's kind of hard to tell them anything because they don't want to hear you, and that's okay. They have to learn at their own pace. Maybe sometimes you can't speed up people's learning like you would like to. It's tough though, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. It can be very tough, and that's one thing that the late great what's his name? They killed his ass. I forgot his name. I'm so tired. I forgot his name. He said that he had said something like about what I just said, and I have to say it's true. Now let's give a couple minutes. Now that I broke down that the World Wide Web is more than just the web on this matrix you're in, it's also web around the planet. Okay, that you need special technology to see, which catches spirits, and you are the spirit, you are the energy, you are the source that lives in that body, moves that body around. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's play music first, and then right, we'll do that. We'll do that right now with that. Hold on, y'all. I got stuff acting up left and right over here.
Bluetooth ready for connection.
I charged up
Bluetooth connected.
Charged up my laptop to make sure I could do the live. Act like it didn't want to come on. It was weird. I had to push the buttons a couple of times before it actually acted right. So it's been a funny start. I almost didn't even do the live. I probably shouldn't have said that though, because I'm pretty sure they probably messed with it. But yeah, you know. But I ended up doing it live anyway. Okay. So now we also getting to the point where a lot of people are falling for the separatism or saying that the men are going to be the rulers, the men are going to be the kings, the men are going to be the rulers, the men are going to be the queens, and all that stuff. And there's, well, if you look up history, the kings, when we were kings, we made mistakes. Did we do what they do? No, we made enough mistakes though, and it cost us. Okay. The queens made mistakes. Nobody's talking about it. I exposed it only one time, and the mistakes was against their own men. Very bad mistakes, which is why the men, besides protect them, was handed to be in charge, because when it had messed up so bad that they handed it to the men, and then the men just messed it up even more. So it's like we were supposed to learn that separatism doesn't exist, and that we have to be on one accord about the collective and not about kings and queens and so forth, because that book told you what the women realized and the great kings wrote down when they got some questions answered from them as well. All right. And on that book, it tells you that any king, any ruler, period, really, that rules over you will never do you right. And we proved it. The women was in charge, they did the men wrong. The men was in charge, we fucked up and lost the king chair. At least the women didn't lose the king chair. They didn't lose it. They passed it to us so that we could go ahead and take on the rulership. And we totally lost the seat. We gotten it back, yes, but that's worse than what they did, than what they actually did. Although they made mistakes. So when mistakes are made on both sides, you have to start realizing that we have to start dealing with the collective Grand Rising, because that's the only thing it's about is the collective, nothing else. When you get to that point, then you're ready to leave this place. The whole point is to get out of here, to learn a lesson and go. This is why I teach ascendance, to ascend. That's the goal. So you might as well hop straight to it, right? All right, let's go ahead and get some music in here. Get people time to come on. It is Sunday. I don't know if that clock is right. It might be right. It may not be right. Whoa! Sometimes my stuff does what it wants. I don't know why it's doing that. All right.
Some of your chains on you, I did what I had to do. Can't deal with that no more. I don't switch up on you. You can't be singing me blues like you done in store with the sword. I'm so glad I changed on you. I did what I had to do. Don't want religion no more. Yeah, so glad I changed on you. I did what I had to do. I had the most. Oh, I had to change on you. I did what I had to do. You can't trick me no more. Your lies are just so see-through. Running around there, give away. Can't find us close for shit no more. I had to switch on you. I could just see right through your bullshit lies. The whole Babylon can't trick me out. And I don't pump or fake me out. I'm too smart, my third eye is all about the war. You can't just fuck with me. I don't switched up on you. You tried to play me for real. So I had to put the brakes on it. You know I had to stop that shit. I seen you was trying to be slick with the war. Dirty games that you play. Try to make us fade away. Try to put us to sleep so we don't fight the war. See, so I had to change on you. I did what I had to do. I don't want your lies no more. I had to change on you. I did what I had to do. Don't want religion no more. I don't switch up on you. I see how you came us to. How you had the game us to. No more. You ain't gonna be gaming us. It's not in you we don't trust. You need trust in ourselves. Be ready for the war. I don't switch up on you. I did what I had to do.
All right.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, should I get better? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be?
I get better. I get better. I get better. I get better. Yeah, I get better. I get better. Hard in a Gucci sweater. I get better. Just so clever. I get better. I get better. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So here we go. We're gonna get started. I think I waited long enough. The show started around 11:40. It's 12:04. I waited long enough. All right. So, a lot of y'all probably wonder what is the evidence of the women who had the babies by the nothing and became their wives. Now, here's the sad part. They were raped. They didn't have a choice in this. But because of the fact that they birthed any of their children, they still got punished. So those seraphims and things that be singing from the ocean, all right, seem to be a little more than just that. And now these people are starting to admit what these things are. They're not hiding it no more. So since they're daddy's wives, they're washing up on shore now because they're dying. Now they don't have a problem talking about it. Otherwise, you say anything about a mermaid, anything like that, which is an evil thing, they would call you crazy and tell you watch too many movies.
washes up and it has everyone scratching their heads.
We knew what they had. We knew what they had before they knew what they had. We've been trailing McCormick's NOAA team since 2004. We followed them to South Africa. We knew what they found was the same species we'd taken off that beach.
I want people to know that it's authentic. Nothing's been manipulated. It's the real deal.
Away from our sights are the moments waiting to be discovered.
Oh, what the
Mysterious, terrifying, and completely unexplainable. But luckily, we've got some digital eyes that each time made it possible to lock the disturbing activities of those who didn't know a camera was watching them.
Your registration is expired. What the?
Let's start.
Yeah. Of course they're going to do that, right? There we go.
When this man was sick of hearing eerie sounds outside his house, he went to investigate, and chills ran down his spine when he spotted a figure in a white gown in the distance. Before he could understand what he was seeing, the figure suddenly jumped towards him.
So many of y'all are wondering about a lot of sites people have seen. All right. First, we already showed you evidence for the wives of the fallen ones and what they were turned into, and the proof that the government knows. They don't mind telling you now. But they are now admitting that they have a Stargate. That's why this is up there, and this is why I keep flashing it. They have been admitting that there's a Stargate, which means that they don't mind you knowing now, which means that they don't care because they don't think you'll do anything, really. And I've said that plenty of times, that they're not worried about what people think anymore. Unfortunately, it's true. Unfortunately. Now, besides the sun doing it, dude, what is now happening is that the atmosphere, because many of y'all don't have seen this video and probably know what it means. Y'all just hear the guy talking, don't even know what he's talking about. The atmosphere is changing. It's totally changing to what we call ether, which means that the atmosphere and everything around you is going to be you, attached to you and a part of you and you, which means that when they use any weapons, it won't work because the weapon has now became you. You getting it? You'll be able to control everything just with a thought. All right. And it's now time and important for us to start practicing our powers too and unlocking them. That's something we're going to get into in a little bit. It's very important for all of us, friends, couples, husbands, wives. Y'all should be doing this at least once a week. That's what should be happening. So it's time for everybody to hop to it. Dragging feet ain't gonna get the job done against these things. We gotta fight. So we need to get all the way right. Okay. Plus, we need to start people to learn how to live out the sun, and that takes practice. That is what it is. Now, watch this video.
When you see shit like this, you will say CGI, or you will say your government, Project Bluebeam. When if they had this type of technology, if they had this type of ability or capability, 9/11 would be a piece of cake. You have the slightest idea of the times that we are currently in. The TIME, the time, the space in which we are in at this moment. We are in the precipice of the Great Awakening. We are on the cusp of the Great Revealing, the revealing of genetics, of our genes, of every living organism genes on this planet. There will be no lies, no deception. There will be no more manipulation about who and what you are. You will have to stand in the light. You will no longer be able to sit in the dark. You will no longer be able to use weapons of destruction to cover up or hide your lies, manipulation, and your existence. You will no longer be able to use chemical warfare, biochemical warfare through foods, medications, medicines that is poison to keep us in a docile infant state. You will have to think, you will have to use that complex organism that sits on your fucking shoulders. You will have to use that more than you use your physical body. We will be returned to an infant state. We will be returned to an infant state where you will absorb and relearn who you truly are, and you will be happy doing it. We will no longer walk hand in hand with a lie. We will no longer walk hand in hand with just death. We will walk hand in hand with death and life. We will have an honorable death, or we will live correctly, righteously, as individual species and collectively. Here,
we will no longer hold hand in hand with none of the enemies, because that would be a violation, and that wouldn't be righteous.
Unlocking the power of the mind is silence.
Now watch this video. This is very important, and this is why I tell everybody to meditate. So I'm gonna get myself off the screen so y'all can pay well attention.
Able to quiet the mind and go deeper into the psyche and the subconscious. This is one of the goals of meditation, because essentially if you're able to control your mind, you can control your life. And it's easier said than done, because most people have a never-ending conversation occurring in their mind. And that inner monologue is your conscious mind. This is the first layer of thinking that keeps you stuck in the matrix. Now, beneath that layer of thought is the subconscious. And this is what we call the dark side in the occult. So you have these deeply embedded thoughts, beliefs, and feelings that are hidden or suppressed. And this is the part of you that really runs your life. So through deep meditation and other techniques, you can tap into this inner dimension and manifest healing, knowledge of past lives, power, wealth, and you can literally change your reality. The problem is most people can't sit alone with themselves and detach from the outside world. They have to constantly be stimulated by something. And see, meditation itself is a practice. It takes time to get past that first layer of thought and enter an elevated trance-like state. This is how you can awaken your supernatural powers and abilities. Now understand, 99.9% of people can't do it because they're not disciplined enough or mentally strong enough, right? So the first step in this process is you have to start training your mind. You do this through meditation, visualization, and ritual. These practices create new neural pathways in your brain and open you up to fourth dimensional astral energies. The more you meditate, the more psychic energy you accumulate. And the goal is to be able to change the visible world around you with your mind. So one practice that they taught me when I was initiated is to stare at a white wall or a white piece of paper, and using your mind and using your third eye, turn it black or turn it to any other color. 99.9% of people can't do it because their mind isn't mentally strong enough. So you have to train by practicing. This is what we're talking about when we say change your reality. Once you can do that, now you can start doing more advanced things like changing your internal body temperature. If you look online, you can find all of these videos of these monks that go up into the mountains in the wintertime with no clothes on. And based on meditation, they can actually start sweating and even melt the ice around them. These are the type of things that's possible when you learn how to conquer your mind.
In the vast expanse of the universe, a magnetic force flows through every particle, infusing it with life energy. This hidden power, though often unnoticed, is an intrinsic part of our existence.
That part was key and very important. Remember, the magnetic force that is all around existence, around the earth and the earth, all that stuff. And don't forget the particles I told you about. That's after this. I believe after this. And I'm going to get straight to it. I need to drink some water. I'm going to get straight to it in a little bit. Just keep on watching.
the foundation
It's
of
gonna
this exploration
it's gonna help you understand what I was talking about. How the Earth is a prison planet and how they did it with the World Web.
lies in the profound understanding that air, often perceived as an empty space, is far from void. It is composed of essential elements vital for sustaining life. Furthermore, air carries magnetic energy, sourced from the radiant sun and other celestial bodies. This magnetic energy plays a pivotal role in the
Remember, air particles, the air particles that surround the Earth. Remember that. That is a key part of how the Earth has a digital web around it from the World Wide Web. Also, not just in it, but around it, trapping you. It traps souls. It's not a soul. It's a spirit catcher. It traps you. You're the energy. You're the spirit. It's energy catcher. Okay, but you're gonna realize that these particles are more like, how can you say it? They feed off of energy. Okay, so it's not what originally was, what was on the outside of the Earth. Okay, that obviously is going away. The atmosphere is gone away for a reason to destroy that, which is why now you're seeing, prior to before this part on Sunblood, how the matrix was changing to be completely ether. So that means all the weapons be able to control, because this World Wide Web, which is on the outside of the Earth, which we'll get to that in a little bit, I'm breaking down little pieces to help you explain as I go, so you get the full picture. That's when I finally get to it. All right. Well, it'd be easy for you to understand. I'm learning that I have to try to dull things down a little bit and break down slowly to y'all. I'm being told by a lot of men, and specifically one particular brother that tells me a lot. I act like people are just supposed to know this stuff, but I guess that's why I'm here, right? So I guess I gotta humble myself some to be able to get the message across so that y'all can understand it. Now keep watching, okay?
cyclic changes of seasons, a consequence of the sun and planets' rotations and revolutions. Intriguingly, air possesses the ability to transmit various programs and vibrations individually, even when they intertwine. Imagine the air as a cosmic conductor, orchestrating a symphony of unseen energies. Each vibration carries its unique signature, and yet they coalesce seamlessly. These vibrations, which extend far beyond the audible range of human perception, become an integral part of the magnetic field surrounding us. It's a magnetic tapestry, intricately woven with the threads of these vibrational programs. These emanations form a complex net.
Magnetic field going away, right? Everything changed to ether, right? Okay, now a new magnetic field comes in and replaces that, which is going to be a magnetic field that is going to be totally attached to us. You see, everything will be controlled by us. This is a very key point, and that's why I had to stop right there, so you can I can point out what they're saying, so you can kind of catch on and follow on what I'm trying to get you to see as far as how the planet, or how they did it to make it a prison planet, and how now that's going away. Okay. Yes, it's a prison and a prison because you are unfortunately you got bills and stuff that you really don't even have to pay. In fact, they should be, which I knew this, some of y'all don't know, but actually a lot of y'all do know this because y'all was told this a long time ago by some of y'all parents and by other people as well, because they didn't hide this, that they're actually supposed to be paying us money for rent and anything like that. And of course, but now I guess we get to the point where others are finding out and they are outraged, maybe because we are the ones that found out probably were just the teachers, and our job is to wake other folks up. We're waking up people that's going to make a change in that particular category, and that's just fine and dandy for us, because either way, we all supposed to help each other, so we'll get it done. We will get it done. All right, keep watching.
Network, an interconnected web of energies that interweave with our very being. This transformative energy is not a mere abstraction or poetic metaphor, but a tangible reality, ever present and omnipresent. It permeates the air around us, saturating the environment with its subtle yet potent influence. These vibrations propagate through the atmosphere, shaping the energetic landscape we inhabit. The magnetic field, fueled by these vibrational currents, emerges as a dynamic force, constantly in flux. It is a living, breathing entity, intimately connected to the magnetic powers of the sun and other celestial entities. The sun, our celestial nucleus, radiates its magnetic essence, infusing the solar winds with transformative energy. These winds, like cosmic messengers, carry the sun's magnetic gifts, intertwining with Earth's magnetic field to create a celestial dance that governs our existence. As we explore the enigmatic realm of the human body, we discover that we harbor our own magnetic fields. At the core of our existence, a subtle yet powerful force interweaves with our being, shaping the very fabric of who we are. This realization opens a gateway to understanding the profound connection between our thoughts, emotions, and attitudes with the magnetic essence that defines us. Our magnetic fields are intricately woven with the threads of consciousness. Every thought we think, every emotion we feel, and every attitude we hold creates ripples within this magnetic tapestry. Like brushstrokes on an ever-changing canvas, our mental and emotional landscape paints a vibrant portrait that shapes the trajectory of our lives. Herein lies a critical point. Maintaining the integrity of these magnetic fields is of paramount importance. The alignment of our thoughts and emotions determines the harmony of our magnetic resonance. Dissonance in this magnetic field can lead to an array of challenges, from physical ailments to emotional turbulence. By ensuring mental, emotional, and physical well-being, our magnetic fields can act as a protective shield against infections, facilitate wound healing, and exhibit the astonishing capability to compensate for missing body parts. Our magnetic nature holds the potential for miraculous transformations, an untapped power within. Energy Sustenance unveils a captivating understanding of life's vitality, intricately connected to the celestial dance of the sun. The radiant star at the center of our solar system becomes the source from which life's vigor emanates. Through a mysterious energy tube, this cosmic essence finds its way into our bodies, coursing through our very being like a river of divine sustenance. Picture the sun as a cosmic cauldron, brewing a potent elixir of energy that nourishes all living beings on Earth. This mesmerizing energy becomes an indispensable lifeline, sustaining the heartbeat of existence itself. From the vibrant flora to the sentient creatures that roam the lands, all draw upon this celestial nectar to fuel their journey through life. Our connection to the sun is primal and profound, as if an ancient memory reminds us of our interdependence with the cosmos. This life-giving energy forms the essence of our magnetic nature, intertwining with our energetic web, which in turn shapes our experiences and perceptions of reality. However, the integrity and potency of our magnetic fields can be jeopardized by factors both within and beyond our control. Breaking the cosmic rules set in motion by the divine intelligence can lead to a weakening of our energetic lifeline.
So you want to unlock your spiritual gifts. Great. First, you need to keep in mind and realize that you cannot care about what anyone has to think. People are going to try to call you insane. People who are dead set on not wanting to believe, they're going to try to make you out to seem crazy, but you cannot worry about that. Also, ignore my eyes, clearly having some type of allergic reaction. Okay, so step one is you need to meditate. Be comfortable with being outside, being in nature, meditating. Meditate for at least 15, 30, 45 minutes. Starting out, it's going to be helpful for you. The wind is blowing, confirmation. You need to get in touch with your thoughts and your highest self. 2, you are going to need to do the shadow work. You are going to need to heal the parts of you that you have been avoiding, the parts of you that you have been neglecting, the things that you need to get over, the traumas. You need to be at your highest self in order to unlock your highest potential regarding this. 3, stay grounded and trust yourself. Make sure that you are trusting the messages that are coming to you and not doubting your intuition. And
Stay grounded. In other words, what's the best way to say it? There's 2 ways to stay grounded. Of course, with your feet on the ground with no shoes and socks, and that's one thing. But you can't do that all the time. If you got to go do something, obviously, do it when you can. But the other stay grounded she's talking about is stay grounded when you hear something, right? On video, such as YouTube and a thing like that. Stay grounded. Get the message, but take everything with a grain of salt and research it. Then only believe what you have learned from the research. Everything else the teacher has said to you is not proven to be true, even if they show you the evidence, unless you actually go research it and see it for yourself. That's how you stay grounded. As far as the messages that's coming to you, these messages coming straight to you, and it's not anything about anybody else you're dealing with, anybody that you're with. It's not about your family. It's not never anything about that. It's always an answer to your question, and your question is always something spiritual. I ain't talking about spiritualism, because spiritualism is a religion. I don't do religion. Religion is a scam. It's a trick. Okay, I don't approve any type of religions. Okay, just being honest. And again, I own crystals. I have a good amount of crystals. I don't use them for anything. I just think they're pretty. They may have something to them, whatever. I won't dispute that. But what I will say is that I'm just not into any religions. So that's why I don't do anything. They can be used for healing. Yes. Used for right purposes, they're good. For the wrong purposes, they're bad. That's all I can say about that. I could say a lot more than I got. Some things good and some things bad. Now, I don't want to discourage anybody, just try and help everybody. All right. So stay grounded. When you get these messages about the ether, about why this had to be, about just the questions that you don't usually get. And sometimes it don't just come to your head. Sometimes you're researching something to teach. This happens to the teachers. When in this sort of case, talking about you research, unless you start researching something the teacher had told you, boom, okay, then it work in your case too. But you research something because you want to teach it or you want to know it. You want to get down to the bottom of it, and then you're trying to go find that something that's attached to it, because now you're going deeper down the rabbit hole. And then what happens is that the ether will direct your path into something else. You'll put something in the computer of what you're specifically looking for, right? And you know by putting in what you're specifically putting in, it should have no problem popping up on the screen somewhere in that search, right? But what will happen is something totally different will come up that was a total answer to your question that you want to know. And at that point, you know then that you got your answer. And it was that your higher self, really. Okay, remember the ether is you as well. All right, you are part of something greater that, to the point that the only way you can describe it is that it is you and you are it, and you are me and I'm you. All of us are each other. And I'm talking about our people. Everybody's part of a collective. They're just different collectives. Okay? That's why I'm just referring to our people, because I'm talking about our collective. You know, I don't really want to get into the other collectives because there's not much good in the future for them, you know. So there's no point in me be telling gloom and doom. The Hebrew Israelites, although they still follow religion, are already doing a good job of telling them what's coming for them. And they're not lying to them about what's coming for them. The only thing is they don't understand that the Israelites don't understand they're serving the same master as those ones' daddies that they're telling that's going to be put enslaved and all this other stuff. And I'm not sitting up there condoning slavery. I'm not, but then again, I'm not going to say what's not righteous either. I'm staying away from both of those. just not to set anybody, because my goal right now is to teach. I'm here to gain your attention, to get y'all to see and understand what's happening and how you get your abilities back, how this is all attached to the ether, how this is also attached to outside of our planet, how these particles that are actually living organisms, that's what I'm for earlier, are attached to this World Wide Web that is actually not just on the platform, what we call the matrix that you are in at the moment, and your lower selves, going to be higher selves very soon. And hopefully for you, your highest self, so you can go to your highest state and leave this place and take your body with you instead of you just leaving the way you would leave and just be the way you would be, which is still not a bad thing at all, be honest with you. We're just trying to, we're always adapting, going to another level. Okay. Now, before I get off topic. All right. So now that you understand the World Wide Web also is an outside planet, which is a energy electronic web that is a spirit collector. It collects you. You are the spirit. Your soul's your body. All right. There's videos on how the devil does get your soul with a contract, because that's your body, gets to live in your body. That's a whole nother topic though, which a lot of these artists, movie stars that many of y'all love and all people y'all vote for and stuff, that many of y'all love, don't realize that they have been body snatched. They are now reptilians, Greys, and a whole bunch of other shit, Palladians and so forth, Nordics, Antarcticas and stuff. They don't like you, and there's a whole bunch. There's like 666 of them. But anyways, a different kind, not any other kind, just like them older books I read to y'all. All right, let's keep going. And many of y'all probably wonder why I haven't used those books in a while. The reason is, and I do find things in those books, but the thing is, you're not going to find everything in the books. And the books are only good, to, as far as I'm concerned, to be used to quote something that goes along with the hardcore evidence that you have and you're showing. Otherwise, it's just you speaking off of sentences, and you can make that thing sound like anything if you want to, unless you're going to actually attach it to what it's supposed to be attached to, period. And that's why I have a problem. I want people to, teachers start specifying exactly what you mean. Don't leave it vague. That's a very dangerous thing. People can take the wrong way.
It's very important for you at this time that you do not doubt your intuition. Trust the messages that are coming to you after you've done all of those things and you're healing, you've done the work. Those messages are messages that you need to hear, and that's the truth. Do not.
Now, intuitions that you will be hearing are simple intuitions. They're not about anybody or anyone around you. Sometimes they're about you as far as getting yourself together, but mainly that's usually not what they're about either, to be dead honest with you. Most of the time, your intuitions is about what you need to store away. I need to start growing soon. I need to start building this fast. I got to get this done fast. We got to get prepared for you know what fast. Those are intuitions. These are intuitions. Or look, research over here on this page. That's intuition. Okay? Something like that. The very simple intuitions. Maybe I should stop eating this. That's an intuition. These are spiritual intuitions that's going to come to you. Okay? Here you go.
Ever waver. Do not doubt yourself for anybody. Understand that it's a process, so do not expect everything to just happen overnight. Be gentle with yourself. Be understanding. It's a process. It's a must.
Boom. And I got to address this. Okay. Everything's a process. Be gentle with yourselves. It's a process when you're trying to get meditation to the point where you're really not even here at that point. It's a process to your abilities start to be shown to you as far as you be able to start using them and seeing them being used by you. And family, just like family, everything is a process, and it's important. It's very important for family to, of course, do what they're supposed to do, but more importantly, the Superman, Superwoman, the X-Men, X-Woman, you have a partner, you're married right now. Everything's a progress. Be patient with yourselves. Be gentle with yourselves. Understand that it's a progress. And the progress is taking you so that you and your partner, you will know that partner like the back of your hand when it comes to warfare. You got to make a good tag team partner whooping these demons' ass. Okay? That's simply what a lot of it really is. And the person may get on your nerves and all other stuff and on 9 yards. Everybody gets on everybody's nerves. We're people that somehow, for some reason, can't get along. Facts. Okay? That's just how our people are. We're people that somehow, for some reason, can't get along. Which I really quite don't really understand. Some would say we have a bit of Stockholm syndrome. I don't think I do, but anybody can have their own opinion, right?
Muscle, just like any muscle, you have to work on that muscle to strengthen it. It is a skill, it is a gift. And then also I wrote an ebook that goes over tips, tools, identifying your spiritual gifts, how to unlock them, just helpful information for this journey, because let's be honest, it's not for the weak, and it is something where you're really going to have to get in touch with self. So having some.
This journey is not for the weak. That's a fact. This journey is for the strong. I mean, spiritually strong. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. This journey is not for somebody who's going to be. You really got to keep your emotions in check. You can't be over emotional. You can't be too emotional. You got to keep emotions in check. And I guess this is why a lot of teachers are really not that emotional for some reason, or why those of you that have double M's on your hand because you were kings and leaders at one point of your coming back and so forth, that you have learned to make split decisions, so those feelings that would used to be behind it is behind it, but not as hard as somebody that it wouldn't be. It would be more, I would say. So we have to, as well, all of us, keep our feelings in check when it comes to, I guess, getting upset, getting angry, or making any harsh decisions, or quick decisions, I guess, I would say. Okay? And be patient with ourselves. Don't get frustrated. It's like a muscle. You got to work out this power that will eventually be shown to you. You have to do these exercises. You definitely do have to start meditating, okay, so that you can exercise these powers. It is a process. You have not used these powers in so long. So understand it's going to take you a while on every single skill, from your powers to your partner with powers, your X-Men, X-Woman partner with powers, and all the rest of you who are children, really not children. These are like people in 30s and 40s for some reason, and they're learning how to get their powers. They have not met their, maybe they have met their partner. They're not showing their partner. So I shouldn't assume, right? But supposedly, from what the women are teaching about and it's not too many of them teaching about it anymore, but the ones that have taught about it, they're saying that every X-Men has an X-woman, and that's your partner for war, that you need your partner. So understand that, and understand everything is a process. Don't ask me why it's this way. We obviously made it this way. Just like before, we just come walk through the black sun, and we just walk on the scene and just be here, man and woman. And then that something happened, and then it was just women, just something that they don't want to talk about. And then after it was just the women, we couldn't walk to the sun anymore, the black sun, and something happened. There's many reasons why, but something happened. And when it happened, we had to come to another portal, which is the women's private. All right. So then that happened. Okay. And then once we came through, then something else happened. And then we had to start having sex with women for them to get pregnant. Okay. So, and now obviously something else happened where they passed it to us because they did some things messed up that caused them to have to pass it to us. And then we messed around and just didn't listen, and we lost it. We totally lost the whole damn seat. And it's still our seat. It's just it got stolen from us. And now we got to work to get it back, and we almost there, y'all. You know, so preparing for it now is the battle. They coming for a battle. We ain't gonna give them a flop, right? I mean, I'm saying most of y'all, I'm pretty sure, had a hard knock life, had a tough life, had a hard life, and you're not gonna just go out like that, right? I mean, you don't want to just lay down, right? Right? You want to fight, right? You want to win, right? You don't want to be a loser, right? Nobody wants to lose. Everybody wants to win. I know I want to win. We're supposed to win. The book says we're supposed to whoop their ass. So why don't we practice so we can whoop that ass? That's all I'm saying.
Some type of guidance is always helpful. So that's why I made the guide to begin with. You can also click the link in my bio for that as well. Just realize you're not the
guidance is also very helpful when it comes to knowledge and it comes to what she's talking about.
only person that's going through it or who's had to go through it. Everything takes time. Everything is a learning aspect. And just know that you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing. And this will be very beneficial to you. There are more benefits than anything. I believe in you. I believe in your progress. I know that you're going to make it happen. And I know that you're going to get in touch in your higher self. So keep going.
And those who like to know, TikTok, her name is Breeze. Okay, Breeze. It's at Breeze Tales, Breze Tales on TikTok. And check out her bio. She's got a lot of information for you guys. Okay, I don't mind, pushing our sisters, brothers information. Okay, so check out Breeze on TikTok at Breeze Tales on TikTok. Okay.
Wonder how incredible your brain is? Here's a mind-blowing fact. Your brain generates 20 watts of electricity, enough to power a dim light bulb. It's like a tiny power plant inside your head. This electricity controls everything you do, from thinking to moving. Whether you're solving puzzles or just daydreaming, your brain's electrical signals make it all happen. While it won't light up a city, it's a marvel of nature. Imagine if we harnessed all the brain power in the world. We'd have a whole lot of light. So next time you're deep in thought, remember your brain's superpower. It's quietly lighting up your world. Like and share.
I'm going to show you how to access real, true power. And I'm talking about power that a lot of people cannot access because...
Just have to let you know that they can do some things too. They just can't do what you can do. Okay? So don't underestimate your enemy either, although we're supposed to whoop not just their daddy's ass, but their asses too. I ain't talking about one group, they all as a whole. So let's not sit up there and bring on one particular species.
They have this false belief that if they make a lot of money, then they're powerful. No, actually, they just become slaves of money. If they work really hard, or if they hustle, then they can build something and be powerful. No, actually, then they become just trapped by the devices that they use to gain their power. Some people think that if you have a certain position, or if you're in the government, or if you're running a big company, then you're powerful. No, it actually just means that you're easier to take down and you're a puppet for someone else. True power, hear me when I say this, true power is your energy. True power is when you're in this state where there is this vortex of energy that is vibrating at such a strong frequency that you cannot be messed with. You cannot be messed with, because your frequency is commanding your presence. Your frequency is showing that you remember who you are. And that internal power sets you above, I would even say 100% of the people who exist on this planet, because very few people have accessed that level of inner power. And here's the thing, and I'm going to show you how to access it. The more trauma you've had in your life, the more access to your power that you have. I know it's a crazy thing, but if you've ever heard the saying, how far you go into the darkness, you get access to that equal amount and more of light. And if you are someone who chose to incarnate in this life in a really difficult situation and had to overcome a lot, you have built actually this giant container for your power. You just have.
That was an important part I want y'all to hear too. So This is why, like I said, guys, with the M's on your hand, with the women with the M's on your hand, and you have the double M's on your hand, or the M on both hands. Okay, this is you guys are the main players. I'm talking to y'all because I can relate to y'all. I'm not gonna say much more than that. You are the main players. All right. You are what they call the master mason, the master builders, not mason like they say it. Okay. You are the creators. You are the originals. You are the warriors. You are the kings. For the lack of better words, you are the kings. You are the queens. You are. That's for lack of better words, though, because that some of the words is not nice words. I found out. Okay, well, just for sake of conversation, y'all you should look up some of the stuff I'm telling y'all, especially when it comes to words as well. Man, enemy trying to stop me, right? All right, here we go. So, yes, with the M's, okay. Thank you, Source. All right, now you, okay, are the guy that's in the Matrix. You are the X-man. That's why the M and the man stands for man and woman. We ain't talking about their type of man. Okay, you see the M. I got one on both hands. All right. You are the leaders. Many of you leaders got to be paired with a counterpart leader if you don't already have a counterpart leader. Okay. So in other words, if you are single, you're not married, you're gonna end up being married because you have not got your counterpart yet. If you already are married, that's your counterpart. As long as it's one of us, work with her. Okay, work with him. It is what it is. God. One thing somebody told me, and this is so crazy and strange. It comes from married people that's married for, because our parents would be married for since they were like 17 till they freaking died. They were like 80 something. They were dead at that time. They married for almost fucking 70 something years and shit, 60 something years. Like what the fuck? Which is unheard of these days, although it should be in the thing these days. I have got some knowledge from some people like that, and it is so funny. There's a woman that said to me, all right, she was talking to other people too. She was talking to mostly women at the time. It's just there's men addressed it too. But with the way the women said it is that I'll say it the way that we would say it. Getting tongue tied. The source, the ether, will give you your wife or give you your husband. They'll give it to you. It don't mean you're gonna like her, and it don't mean you're gonna like him. And I would thought that was crazy. And I love, you know what I'm saying? I don't have anything against anybody. I love, all right? And I'm trying to keep myself out of this as all together. All right. But I'm pretty sure there's some of y'all at some point in time, y'all get aggravated with the person y'all deal with. That's okay. But you got yours though. Hold on to it. All right. What else? Because I'll probably get off track. I do that sometime. That's right. Okay. You are the one in the video game. You're the one in the video game. All right. You're the one they making all the superhero movies about with all these powers. You have 999 powers. You are the one specifically they didn't want to wake up. You are the ones why I even tell you that some of your parents ain't really your parents. And I ain't talking about being adopted, I'm talking about hid you in plain sight. You chose rough life because that was your destiny anyway. Or is it your destiny? Some of you might want to know. See that? Boom. Good to me show this. That's what I'm talking about. That's how it's supposed to be, y'all. Read that comment. Okay? So we don't mind, brother. This is supposed to be. He got the 432, which is a love vibration because we are actually love. That's right. Okay, we vibrate on that. We actually vibrate on higher than that too for healing process, but that's something different. Okay, we can take it down now. All right. You're the one that they made all the cartoons about, man. You it. And your job is to lead everybody else, not the ones who's leading. Your job is to work with them. Because remember, we are all going to govern ourselves. It's not going to be a set of government. It's not going to be all that stuff we tried in the past. We're not doing that no more. It failed. It didn't work. Why would we do the same thing again? And then, because that's actually doing the same thing. If we went back to the kings being on top, or the queens being on top, for lack of better words, y'all, all right, then we get the same result, which is insanity, right? That's different from a relationship. A relationship you have to work on. That's not insanity. But to go ahead and try a strategy, because king, queen, ruler one way or the other is a strategy. It creates a government, a strategy. And that always fails because at the top will always abuse what was at the lowest. So we can't do that no more. It's about the collective. We have to learn that lesson about the collective, right? So let's get the collective going. That's what you're supposed to be doing. High vibrations for the collective. All right. Now, knowing that, you have to lead gently now. Okay. We can be feisty, we can be bossy. That's not going to work with the people. That's not going to work with the people. You got to be gentle, smooth as a dove. This is why we put that stuff in that book. And see what they did is flipped it. Okay. All right. Now, proof, smooth as a dove and slick as a snake. That's not a man's word. That's a woman's words. Because a man would say something a little more brutal, right? We just wrote that down the book what some women had to say. The smart ones, the ones that at the top at the time, before things went haywire, and then we got it, and then we shit fucked up too. We all fucking can blame ourselves in this too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It is on the enemies, but if we didn't do certain things, we wouldn't have got what we got. So it's our fault for doing certain stuff we did. You know, we got to take ownership. We always have to point the fingers at everybody else, but sometimes we do have to look in the mirror and say, at one point, we obviously made some mistakes, regardless of how wrong they were and how slick they were, how many lies they told, and the Pappies did, and so forth. How slick they did, and how many lies they told, and what the Pappies did to us and did to everybody, right? We can blame them all we want. We still got to take accountability for ourselves. Somewhere along the line, when the ladies were in power, they made mistakes, and they felt the need to pass it along to us. We made mistakes, and then we got robbed. It's partly our fault. So we can't sit up there and act like, oh, you know what I'm saying, we're perfect. We've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. So we got to govern ourselves. So it's now time for us to finally learn how to get along. Our biggest problem is we don't know how to get along with each other. We need to learn that fast.
I haven't fully activated yet. And a lot of us haven't activated yet because we have been taught to look externally for power or to ask other people for power. If you read the 48 Laws of Power, all these books out there, it's literally like, how can you manipulate yourself?
Look from within. And law of attraction. I'm going to teach you something that the powers, the so-called powers know. They don't want you to know. Law of attraction. What you put out is what you get back. That comes from you getting money. That comes from you getting help. That also comes in your relationship. What you put into it is what you get out of it. What you put into this life is what you're going to get out of this life. Okay? What you project towards people is what you're going to get back from people. If you like giving folks opportunities when you can, if you was able to in the past, then somebody going to give you some opportunities. If you help somebody, then somebody else is going to help you. If you like to trade and barter, somebody else will come help and trade and barter with you. If you like peace and love, then ain't nobody really going to be around you. Some people that like peace and love. If you like chaos, then you're just going to have people around you who's going to be chaos, or your life will be chaos. What you put out is what you get back. This is law of attraction.
To be next to a powerful person and get their power. It's
Give
kind of
y'all a big
ridiculous,
secret.
actually, but it's a good book.
I need
So
water.
here's how you're going to access your own power. You're not going to like it, but it's going to change your life. You find the biggest fear that you have, and you confront that fear. Chances are, if you are on a path to power, life is going to bring you fears, things that you're going to be afraid to do.
Facts. Now, I had to stop it to say this. If you're afraid of heights, it's okay to go to a tall building and look down inside of the building. Okay? I'm not going to tell you to go to the top of the building and get on the roof. Don't do that. Don't get on the edge and look down. Don't do anything crazy now. All right? If you're afraid to dive, then freaking dive in a pool at a decent height. Don't go bungee jumping or anything crazy like that now. Don't overdo it. I'm just saying, because I don't want this channel to be responsible for this video being shown, and when y'all try something, and then I had got to hear about the shit on the news. That's all I'm saying.
Opportunities that you're going to be afraid to take, people who you're going to be afraid to network with or work with. Face that fear, and you will experience.
And I have to say, this is true. You're going to be forced in this lifetime to work with somebody that you may be a little afraid to work with. You're not afraid of that person. You know, it's more of a fear of trusting or your heart. You are literally going to be forced in a position, or you have been forced into a position where you are being forced. This is ether doing it to you, okay, to deal with that person. And it's only going to make you stronger and better for doing it. It's only going to make that person better and stronger for doing it too. And you both will be happy with the end results, okay? That's just a little help for y'all. Just being honest, man. I think that'll help some people, but I can't help you with.
Experience this level of power within you that gets unleashed. You might not even recognize who you are in a good way. So it's not about facing these fears with your ego, like I'm going to prove everyone wrong. It's actually about facing your internal fears, which are very real. They are very real, and they can feel absolutely debilitating. That's when you know it's a real fear, and you're going to walk through it. And on the other end is your most powerful self. And there's a reason why I called my book Shadow Magic, Turn Your Fear into Fuel and Create a Prosperous Coaching Business. It's because all of the fears that we have, they begin to not only weigh us down, but they actually eat away at our true selves.
Okay. So what she's saying is, yes, you're going to be facing fears, but these are fears you have to address. These are going to be fears in life that you got to address. You're going to be fears and predicaments of working with people that you may fear of working with. You don't fear them. You just fear working with them. So take that the way you may take it, okay? But you have to. It's a good thing, okay? You have to face that fear. It's going to make both of y'all better, all right? If you're facing the regular fear, there's nothing to do with another person, all right, or working with anybody. It's just regular fear that you have, and it's not anything super crazy. It's just a fear you have. So as I mentioned, you're afraid of heights or something like that. You're afraid of networking. You're afraid of being online teaching. You're just afraid. Something simple. This is something now you have to address, something that you have to go forward and do. You got to face that fear now. If you don't, you won't progress. It's going to be hard. It's going to be roadblocks. You are going to run into more problems, and you're not going to like it. I'm not going to lie. I just from experience. You're not going to like it, but it's only going to make you stronger. Everything and anybody around you is only going to get stronger. Believe me. And you'd be surprised. The end result is what you're looking for. Okay? Things are not always going to go your way right away. I'm living life. I'm telling you. Okay? So be patient. Okay? There's certain things that fear some of y'all want to get totally detached from the government as far as bills and so forth for that. That can be a very big fear. Maybe you have to face that fear. There could be a fear of you working on a relationship with your dad, your mom, your sister, your cousin, your son, your daughter, husband or wife. You got to face that fear and work on that thing. There may be a fear of you working on a car or a truck, something you haven't done before on a car or a truck, or taking a specific job for something at a time. Although you may not want to work that job or work, period. That's a fear you may have to face for a little while. Okay? This is time where you are going to face it. And the power thought that's going to be around you, besides the ability to almost command people to a certain extent, which I experienced, it's going to be more so on a day of awakening, when you have this ability, your power fully comes out. But also, as you're practicing, you're working that muscle out, the power out. Okay, you're working that ability out. You're practicing, you're training. That ability is going to show forth super strong, and you're going to be very surprised at the results you get.
And if you're not continuously looking at your fear, that means your fear is controlling you. And here's one thing that I know for sure. If you truly want to be invincible, not just in this physical world, but also in the spiritual world, which is the real world, if you really want to be unfuckable with, you have to develop your inner power.
Recognizing the power of the subconscious mind, we unlock the potential to rewrite our internal programming. This process of transformation is akin to updating the software of your mind, ensuring that it supports your highest aspirations and aligns with the vibrational frequency you wish to emit. It is a journey of uncovering the hidden beliefs that have shaped your perception of yourself and the world, and consciously choosing beliefs that empower and uplift you. Changing your subconscious beliefs. Stepping from the understanding of our inner state into the transformative power of changing subconscious beliefs, we bridge the gap between awareness and action. This pivotal shift is where profound change takes root, evolving from the mere recognition of our core identity and vibrational frequency to actively molding them into a force for manifesting our desired reality. Changing your subconscious beliefs is not merely an act of will, it's a process of reprogramming the deepest layers of your mind. This process begins with awareness. You must first become a vigilant observer of your own thoughts and emotions, noticing the patterns that repeat in your life. These patterns are clues, pointing directly to the subconscious beliefs that drive them. For instance, if you find yourself perpetually entangled in unsatisfying relationships, it might reflect a deep-seated belief in your unworthiness of love. Once identified, the work of transformation can begin. This is where the real magic happens, as you actively choose to rewrite the narratives that no longer serve you. One effective method is through affirmations, positive, empowering statements that you repeat to yourself, designed to counteract and eventually replace limiting beliefs. For example, replacing the belief "I am unworthy of love" with "I am deserving of deep, fulfilling love" gradually shifts your internal narrative. Visualization is another powerful tool in your arsenal. By mentally rehearsing experiences that reflect your new beliefs, you engage your subconscious mind in the act of acceptance. Visualization is not mere daydreaming, it's a rehearsal for reality, a way to prime your mind to recognize and create the opportunities that align with your new beliefs. Emotional engagement is crucial in this process. Your subconscious mind is significantly more receptive to ideas that carry an emotional charge. Therefore, connecting emotionally with the new beliefs you wish to adopt amplifies their impact. Feel the joy, the love, or the abundance you seek as if it's already yours. This emotional engagement makes your new beliefs irresistible to your subconscious mind, encouraging it to adopt these new patterns of thought and behavior. Addressing the root causes of your limiting beliefs often involves healing past traumas and forgiving past hurts, whether they be self-inflicted or caused by others. This healing process is essential for clearing the path for new, empowering beliefs to take root. It's about letting go of the stories that have defined you, freeing yourself from the past's grip, and embracing the potential for a new narrative. Remember, changing your subconscious beliefs is a journey of self-discovery and transformation. It requires patience, persistence, and compassion towards oneself. The fruits of this labor are profound, leading to a shift not just in your internal world, but in the reality you manifest. As you align your beliefs with your aspirations, you'll notice the world around you beginning to shift, reflecting the new vibrations you emit. Doors open, opportunities arise, and life begins to flow with a synchronicity that seems almost magical. This is the power of changing your subconscious beliefs, a pivotal step in manifesting the life you've always dreamed of. Understanding vibrational frequency. In our exploration of inner transformation and manifestation, we've delved into the profound impact of subconscious beliefs on our reality. The journey continues as we shift our focus to understanding vibrational frequency, a concept that further illuminates the mechanics of how we attract our experiences. Vibrational frequency is the essence of the universe's language, the silent but powerful force that orchestrates the dance of existence. Every thought, emotion, and belief sends out a specific vibrational signal, which in turn attracts experiences of a similar frequency. It's akin to tuning into a radio station. The frequency you emit aligns you with parallel realities that resonate with your inner state. Visualize the spectrum of vibrational frequencies as an infinite scale, with lower frequencies associated with feelings of fear, scarcity, and doubt, and higher frequencies resonating with love, abundance, and peace. Your personal vibrational frequency is a dynamic composite of your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and intentions. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly in flux, reflecting the ever-changing landscape of your inner world. This understanding serves as a bridge between the realm of the subconscious and the tangible world around us. It reveals that to change our reality, we must first shift our vibrational frequency. This shift is not about denying our current experiences or emotions, but rather embracing them as stepping stones towards higher vibrational states. Your vibration.
That sustains us comes from the sun, and it enters our body through a mysterious energy tube in the magnetic field via the crown of the head. This energy flows through our body and is excreted back through the lower centers. We carry this energy with us all the time, and it is essential for our survival. However, the integrity and power of the magnetic field can be damaged by breaking rules or physical interferences, such as harmful substances, fears, and complexes. Each part of our body has a magnetic field, and the survival of each unit within us depends on the energy it receives. Any damage to the magnetic field reduces our vitality, making us more susceptible to infections and shortening our life expectancy. Therefore, it is essential to follow the laws of nature, which are the laws of God, to maintain the integrity of our magnetic field. Every particle in the universe is infused with life energy, so there is no such thing as a truly dead particle. Therefore, it is important to understand that maintaining the energy field is essential to living a virtuous life. The law of the energy field is also the law of integrity, and it determines what is right and wrong. Any action or attitude that is harmful to the common good, compromises the principles of right living, or is contrary to the 10 Commandments will damage the magnetic field. Each individual cell in the body has its own moral responsibility, and each organ is a living entity within the body that contributes to the common good. To harm one part of the body is to harm the entire organism, as each organ has its own magnetic field that contributes to the larger, overall field that surrounds the entire person.
Should be focusing on is your brain. The reason why they started also playing around with the brain on like not just a clinical level, but like third party level, was the possibility that we could be enhanced. The possibility for sure that we have certain power. And of course, you've seen the military research on this. It's cabinets full. It's high as a house. The awareness that we have some powers and abilities, and it breaches it being safe. Some of our powers are indeed weapons. So how to use those powers, how to thwart those powers, all of that has been researched heavily by the reality that we're in. And what has ultimately come from that is just the awareness that if a brain cannot achieve a certain frequency for a station period, if it can't stay into a certain frequency for a prolonged period, then that brain itself cannot unlock what is on the other side of that frequency.
If there was a hidden gem of knowledge that could transform your understanding of the world and empower you to master the forces of nature. Enter The Kybalion, a mysterious and influential book published in 1908 by the enigmatic Three Initiates, which explores the principles of Hermetic philosophy. Rooted in the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, the Kybalion presents 7 universal principles that govern the workings of the universe, including the principles of mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. These principles have served as the foundation for countless spiritual practices, personal development techniques, and even modern scientific discoveries. For those bold enough to delve into the cryptic pages of the Kybalion, a transformative journey of self-discovery and personal mastery awaits. As we navigate the complexities of our modern world, the timeless wisdom of the Kybalion offers a guiding light, illuminating the path to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe in which we live. Now you must be asking,
Everybody talking about the great solar flash. Solar flash, when it gonna flash, when it gonna hit, we're gonna activate, get them powers. 111. But y'all gotta stop looking externally first, man. This is grade school textbook spirituality knowledge. Anything that manifests in this third dimensional reality has to start in the energetic realms first, in the realms of the unseen. So
Okay, so you want to activate your pineal gland and open up your third eye. It's actually very straightforward, but it takes practice. So what you need to do is very simple. Understand that your energy center is based here, where the solar plexus is and the sacral chakra is. So we need to push that energy up, and how we do it is by awakening it through breath work. So by inhale, exhaling, abdominal breathing, that will awaken your energy center. Then from there, what you do is you draw the breath in. When you draw the breath in, you must create the root lock. So lock tight, contract the energy there and bring it up. When you bring it up to third eye, hold the pressure there at full breath. When you hold, you want to squeeze the lock. It's almost like you need the bathroom, but you're trying to hold it and you squeeze that root lock. When you squeeze, you feel this chemical release. Then you know the pineal gland is being activated and the third eye is starting to open.
Can humans tap into a hidden power within their hands? New research suggests the answer might be yes, blurring the lines between science fiction and ancient energy practices. Picture this. Individuals trained in qi manipulation, a concept rooted in traditional Chinese medicine, are able to intentionally alter the electromagnetic field around their fingertips. It sounds like something out of a superhero movie, but recent experiments are painting a different picture. While harnessing energy from our hands might sound far-fetched, scientists are approaching this phenomenon with careful methodology and open minds. A recent study involving copper coils and rigorous testing has yielded intriguing results, challenging conventional understanding of human capabilities. Researchers in this study used meticulously designed instruments to measure subtle electromagnetic shifts around the hands of 3 key masters. They discovered that these individuals could indeed influence the power levels at specific frequencies within the electromagnetic spectrum, suggesting a level of control over their energy fields. The study's results showed a clear distinction between control periods and active energy projection phases. More importantly, the changes weren't random. They consistently flowed in a specific direction, impacting individual coils rather than all 3 simultaneously. This specificity strengthens the evidence for intentional energy manipulation. This opens a fascinating door into the potential of human bioenergy. They invite us to question long-held assumptions about the limits of our abilities and explore the scientific basis for practices which a lot of people consider purely mystical. This research could spark a paradigm shift in fields ranging from medicine to biophysics. It invites us to reimagine the boundaries of human potential and explore the uncharted territories of energy medicine. The possibilities are as vast as the human mind itself. Ready to join this paradigm shift? Unlock your hidden human potential with our Chi Coil PEMF therapy system. By elevating your Chi and tapping into quantum frequencies, you can amplify your internal energy to unprecedented heights. DM to learn more. Now tell me, what do you think of Chi manipulation? Drop it in the comments.
The show-stopping BMW i4 is electricity in its most powerful form, an impressive range and the power of over 500 horses. BMW, the ultimate electric driving machine. Lease a BMW i4 for $499 per month.
TMZ is about to put out a tape of our idiot owner and his girlfriend.
A sex tape? It's not a sex tape.
To unlocking the power of the mind,
Flip out, let it get some water.
being able to quiet the mind
I don't
and
know
go
why.
deeper into the psyche
Okay,
and
cool.
the subconscious.
Let's go back a little bit.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
What water is the best water?
To discover.
All right. These are these particles, right? That's around the Earth. Electronic particles that I was explaining about earlier. Excuse my slowing down the speech. I'm a little out of breath. I just can't, man. It's hot, man. Inside here, it's hot in here. And I got the fan. I done walked out. I should have been. It was nice outside. Outside is nice. You okay now, little guy? Got you out the sun for a little bit. Your tongue hanging out. All right. You gonna eat this? I don't know. All right. Just listen up. It's all connected to the World Wide Web that's out on the outside of the planet, which is now starting to go away.
Our universe with our lecture series from the Kavli Institute for Particle Astrophysics and Cosmology at Stanford University, or as we call it, KIPAC. My name's Dan Wilkins, and I'm an astrophysicist at KIPAC, and I'm the coordinator of our public talk series. And we'll be live every 2 weeks with another one of these Discover Our Universe public talks. You can find out about our upcoming events on our website, kipac.stanford.edu/discover, or you can sign up to our mailing list. You can watch this or any of our past talks over on our website or on our YouTube channel. It's my great pleasure to introduce tonight's speaker, Dr. Jessie Muir. Jessie received her PhD in physics from the University of Michigan, and before that she completed her bachelor's at Michigan State University and received a master's from the University of Cambridge, where she studied as a Marshall Scholar. She was awarded a Porat Fellowship, which brought her to Stanford in 2018. Jessie's research focuses on measuring the properties of the universe on the largest scales to discover the properties of dark energy and to test our understanding of gravity and of fundamental physics. She works as part of the Dark Energy Survey, a collaboration of several hundred scientists around the globe to map the galaxies over a large part of the sky and to understand how they're distributed throughout our universe. And as part of her research, Jessie works on how to design experiments to protect them from the effects of unconscious bias of us scientists, and also how to communicate scientific concepts using cartoons. And we're delighted to have Jessie here with us tonight to tell us all about echoes of the early universe. Now, after Jessie's talk, we'll be hosting a live Q&A. So if you have any questions for Jessie, you can send them in all the way through the talk.
Cosmology. And cosmology is the field of physics, astrophysics, as the bio that Dan so kindly read, kind of already described. It's the field that's concerned with the properties of the universe on very large scales, and what those large scales of the universe can tell us about fundamental physics. So the thing I find really compelling about cosmology is the way we tie together this understanding of fundamental physics to the large-scale properties of the universe, and that relation goes both ways. We can use our knowledge of fundamental physics, so by that I mean our understanding of what everything is made of and what forces govern how those things interact and change over time. We can use theories of fundamental physics to build our understanding of what we're seeing when we look out at the universe. And then we can also use observations and measurements of the large-scale universe to check the predictions of our theories and learn about the fundamental physics that they're trying to describe. So the main goal of my talk, I think, is to try and give you a bit of a flavor of how
Astrophysics, we saw it before somebody got locked up, all the brother did was teach our people about astrophysics. The outside nations learned about astrophysics. Many of you probably thought because they had astronauts, right? Or many may have thought because maybe they was so-called going into space, which they can't. Then they go low orbit, right? But they've been learning about this astrophysics now. They can't get outside, completely outside of the planet, right? With the astrophysics, the whole goal was to be able to manipulate astrophysics, the physical things in the astros around planets, to make a web. They had to have something electronic to do it. Now, we all know satellites are not in space. They tell you they are, but they're not. So if they could not do it that way, how else could they do it? Well, if you have a computer that creates a World Wide Web, maybe you could somehow inadvertently attach all the computers to a supercomputer, and maybe somehow attach that computer inadvertently to what they call HAARP, which does shoot things out into the astros. That's one way they change weather and also do warfare. If you will look up the governments of the world and their secret dark programs that the army uses, or they have used on certain countries to win wars. They have actually done this, okay? Why would they want to manipulate things on the outside of the planet and the astros when they can't even go to the astros? Unless they was trying to change the frequency of the astros, creating not just a web on the platform matrix, but also on the web on the outside of the earth called your World Wide Web, a digital electric energy that catches spirits, because you are the spirit and your body is the soul. This is further helping you understand why they did it, how they did it. Now it should be more easier for y'all to understand what I was explaining to you earlier by showing you different clips and breaking it down to you that this is how they did it, why they did it. And we will get to when they did it. I'm pretty sure they did that before they finally had a full conquer, because they did a lot of black magic, as they like to call it, or witchcraft, they like to call it, to conjure up things that could tell them how to do things, to get things a certain way that they would like it to be. They were told by their daddy what to do through these portals. And before that, before they even had to use portals, when their daddy was actually here on Earth, when he broke and through here by doing something really bad before they got here, particularly planning things out before they got here, made us fall before they even actually stepped foot on the ground. And still we fought the first time, so they had to come back the second time with magic and spells.
We try to approach this. And in the process, I'm going to do that through introducing something called the cosmic microwave background, which is a thing we can observe of the universe, which I'll tell you a lot more about in a couple minutes, that I think is just also something very cool to learn about, which many people may not be familiar with. So before I get into all of that, I want to give a little bit of orientation to think about what kind of length scales I'm talking about when I'm saying large scales, and to frame how we think about how we're gathering information about the universe. So to start, I want to do a little bit of an exercise, and I want everyone to imagine looking at the moon. So depending on your time zone and the orientation of your windows, there might be a few people who can actually conduct this experiment in real time. For the rest of us, we'll have to use our imagination. So what is happening when we look at the moon? There is light that initially came from the sun. It bounces off the surface of the moon and then travels through the space between the moon and us to reach our eye, or maybe the camera which took this picture that I am showing. And I'm talking through this because what I really want to emphasize is the fact that light travels at a finite speed. That is to say, it doesn't get from the moon to your eye instantaneously. It takes some time to travel through that space. And the phrase speed of light may be familiar to you. This may or may not be a new idea, that light takes time to travel. But I think it's really worth pausing and thinking about what that means when we're looking, especially at things that are very far away. So the light that travels from the moon to your eye takes about 1.2 seconds to get there. And that means when you're looking at the moon, you're not seeing it as it is right at that instant. You're actually seeing what the moon looked like a little over a second ago. And we can carry this logic out looking further away in space. For example, to the sun. So I'm sitting in front of a window, light from the window is shining in at me. The light that is shining through the window at me left the sun 8.5 minutes ago. So these photons or light particles that are coming in through my window started their journey around the time when Dan and I were setting up the Zoom call about 10 minutes ago. We can go even further out, outside of our solar system, and look at the nearest star to us other than the sun. That star is Alpha Centauri, circled here. It's a star that you can see from the southern hemisphere. And Alpha Centauri is 4.4 light years away. So that means when we look at Alpha Centauri, we're seeing it as it was over 4 years ago. And that's only the closest star to us. So thinking about these times also, for me, helps put in perspective the differences in length scale that we're talking about. So you can think about how many seconds are in 8 minutes. And that gives you information about how much further away the sun is from us than the moon is from us. And similarly, the fact that Alpha Centauri, it takes light 4 years to get from this other star to us, tells you how much further away this other star is compared to the sun, where the light travel time is only 8 minutes. So zooming out even further, we start thinking on galactic scales. So all of the stars we see in the sky are part of our galaxy, the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is very big. And to give you a sense of the scale, the light travel time between the center of the Milky Way to where our solar system is, which is on sort of one of the distant spiral arms of the disk of our spiral galaxy, which in the lower right here, this is an artist's illustration of where we live in the galaxy. The distance from us to the center of that galaxy is about 26,000 light years. So that means in the time that it takes light to travel from the center of the galaxy to us, or if you go back 26,000 years to think about what was happening on Earth then, that's around the time when pottery was invented during the Stone Age. So we're reaching back not just to a couple of years ago, but to really back to the earlier times in human history.
Only problem is that we were actually way past that, and progress way past that before that happened, and something tragic happened before these things interfered and got into our district and came to this planet that caused us to be at that level of pottery and stuff. And you heard one key point. She said that's around the same time human existence started. Human existence, not our existence, because we're not human. Now she's talking about them. You probably say about 6,000 years or something like that. Really, probably longer than that, because the years and time of days has been so screwed, because it's actually longer. So it could have been shorter to actually think about it, too, if we actually do the math. So, let's not go by time of dates, because that's when it gets very tricky.
And these timescales get dramatically bigger when we want to leave the Milky Way. So this is a picture of the Andromeda Galaxy, which is the new.
Andromeda Galaxy is where the Pleiadians come from. They interfered. They're not from our galaxy. They went for their galaxy to come do fucked up shit too. All right, she's gonna tell you that light travels at this speed, so forth. I want to get to the gravy.
And in this image, there are tens of thousands of galaxies. So most of these little speckles you see are not stars. They are other galaxies, which are billions of light years away. And as I said, this is not a unique patch of sky. This applies, this sort of array of galaxies, distant galaxies, are something we can see, basically, something that we can see in every direction that we look. And just to put that into context, the galaxies in this picture, I don't know the exact time scale, but they're going to range from a couple billion years, seeing them as they were a couple billions of years ago, up to about, I think, if I remember the number correctly, about 10 billion years ago. So many of the galaxies in this picture, we're seeing what they looked like before the Earth even existed. And so these are the length and time scales that we're interested in when we're thinking about cosmology, when I'm talking about the very large scale properties of the universe. These are scales where we're not looking at necessarily the properties of any individual galaxy, but we're looking at sort of the distribution of them in a aggregate or statistical sense. And we're looking at, especially given the subtitle of this talk, what is the oldest thing we can observe? What's the farthest we can look? And that's going to be the main thrust of the rest.
Okay. Now, she explained how light works and stuff like that. Now, when you get to here, the cosmic microwave. Okay, microwave is what you call frequency by particles that's on the outside of our planet. Not all these other districts that we invented, that we made. I'm talking about this stuff here. Okay? And can literally use that with hopping computers to create a World Wide Web that, of course, would surround the whole planet, making it a spirit trap, a prison to bring you back in to where you left, right? But now, as we see in that first picture that I was showing, I think it was the first picture, the brother was all talking about why and how the atmosphere is changing, how there'll be nobody to be able to lie to us, no weapons formed against us, because it's literally the ether is now changing the atmosphere to an atmosphere that really suits you. If you look up oxygen, oxygen is a gas. Oxygen is a gas. Why would you be breathing oxygen if it's a gas? That tells you we're not supposed to even be breathing oxygen. So we're about to start breathing the stuff we're supposed to be breathing in, and oxygen is going to have to go away. And the humans need oxygen. So when that starts going, you're going to see they have more problems. They'll blame it on global warming. They'll say a whole bunch of bullshit like that. Now, why is it a prison planet? This is something one of y'all want to know. Why, right? Okay. Now, when you mess up, you create debts. Let's watch this.
We are prisoners on Earth. The universe taunts us by showing us all the places we can't ever visit. However, if our species wants to have a long-term future, we have to escape our prison. But what's keeping us here in the first place? Turns out we owe the universe a debt.
All your debts are paid, so you don't have to escape the universe. All you got to do now is do right as you're supposed to do. Don't create any more debts with the universe by doing something bad on this platform. The universe
that is 4.5 billion years old. Everything with mass in the universe attracts every other thing with mass. We call this phenomenon gravity. The closer you are to a big chunk of mass, the stronger the attraction, or the more you're pulled in. This effect traps us on Earth. We can imagine this as being prisoners in a gravity prison or a gravity well. It's not a literal well, but a handy concept to understand how this works. Being in a gravity prison means that you owe gravity energy. But how can you owe energy? Because in our universe, things don't want to change their speed or direction. To convince them to move, you have to expend energy. Billions of years ago, the gravitational attraction of trillions of dust particles orbiting our sun pulled them together until they formed a planet. This process used energy and created the gravity well we're now a part of. The deeper you are inside a gravity well, the more energy you owe gravity. If you don't find a way to get enough energy, you're not able to leave, no matter what you do. Because your atoms were once part of the dust that the universe expended energy on to get to this place. Okay, let's summarize all of that again. Objects in the universe don't like to move. You have to convince them to do so with energy. Gravity used energy to convince the parts that make up our planet to move together. This created a gravity prison in the process, trapping us. To escape it, we need to repay it with energy. Okay, how do we do that? To get into space, we need to go through a complicated process of exchanging energy. For this purpose, we build negative potential energy repaying machines, known by their more boring name, rockets. Rockets work by using some of the most energetic chemical reactions humans know about to basically explode fuel in a controlled way. This converts chemical energy into kinetic energy. The exhaust of the reaction is directed outwards and pushes the rocket away from Earth. By expending a lot of energy, we are increasing our gravitational potential energy, which is a complicated way to say that we're paying back our energy debt to gravity. But it's actually a lot trickier than that. When you burn fuel to get into orbit, you lose lots of energy to heat, the exhaust, and atmospheric drag, so you actually need much more. And you can't just pile a huge amount of really explosive, dangerous fuel close to your payload and detonate it. You need a controlled burn, which is complicated and makes your rocket very heavy, which means it has more mass. The more mass something has, the more energy you need to convince it to move. So you need more fuel to lift up your rocket. But if you need more fuel, that means you need more rocket to carry that fuel. But this makes your rocket heavier, thus requiring more fuel, which
All right, so hold on. Now, in order to combine yourself with your body, because your body's your soul, you're the spirit, you need to have more energy. So you can kind of use the parallel he's talking about to understand what I'm getting at. You need to have more energy, and the way you get more energy, besides having positive thoughts all the time, besides not praying and speaking positive things into existence, is doing positive things, also meditating and practicing. Treat others like you would treat yourself as well. Remember the laws of attraction, because those are also universal laws. Okay? And then you will start gaining your energy. Try not to be toxic. Try not to start arguments, and try not to get into arguments. Try to be peaceful as possible as far as when it comes to your people. And even when the enemy tries to upset you, understand sometimes the enemy is trying to upset you to bring your vibration down. So you might not want to always take the bite on that. It could be a trick.
requires more rocket to carry that new fuel, and so on. At the end of this madness, you need closer to 100 times the weight of your payload to launch. Ariane 6, for example, the European rocket, will weigh 800 tons and should be able to transport 10 tons into geostationary transfer orbit or 20 tons into medium Earth orbit. But a rocket can only produce so much thrust, so there's a maximum weight after which it just won't take off. If you add too much weight, it won't lift off, so you can't just build bigger and bigger fuel tanks. This is the tyranny of the rocket equation, and it means spaceflight will never become easy. But wait, it gets worse. Getting to space is still not good enough. You're still inside the gravity prison at the edge of space and will crash back to Earth. Staying in space is much harder than getting there. To get to a stable position where it can stay for a while, the rocket has to reach low Earth orbit. To do this, you need a lot of kinetic energy, which means going extremely fast. At an altitude of about 100 kilometers, this is 8 kilometers per second, 28,000 kilometers per hour. Fast enough to travel around Earth in 90 minutes. Here, we can use a trick. Instead of flying straight up, we can go sideways. Earth is a sphere, so if you're going sideways fast enough, even though you're falling towards Earth, the ground will curve away beneath you. So as long as you're above the atmosphere, about 100 kilometers up, you'll be able to stay up there in orbit. This is what the ISS does, falling around Earth, expending energy from time to time to stay fast enough. If we look at orbits in scale, we see that near-Earth orbit is laughably close to Earth. To deploy, for example, satellites or leave for other planets requires another round of energy debt repayment. Getting to orbit is the most difficult part of spaceflight for us right now.
So how? That's the question. How do you escape this prison? By paying back your energy debt. You've done that if you have been awakening. You've paid back your energy debt. Otherwise, you have not been allowed to awaken. And I'm talking about going past that Hebrew Israelite stuff, getting to the point that we're talking about now. Understanding that this is not real. This is a game we may call life. That's why they made the cardboard game. This is the game where you're the main player. You are the ether, and the ether is you, and we are each other, our people. We have a mission, and this mission is to complete it. And since we are obviously doing an okay job, we got to do a better job, though, y'all. We really do. We're doing an okay job. We got to do a better job. The atmosphere is now changing for our benefit, where no weapon will be able to be formed against us, used against us. No lies. You're able to see everything for what it is. There's no hiding. There's no cloaking yourself. There's no shape-shifting yourself. None of that. You have to stand in the light that you in. All right? And that's because you have successfully been raising your vibrations. You have successfully paid back your karmic debt. And because of that, you'll be able to go through this web that somebody made, which is a spirit catcher, making the planet Earth a prison. However, the new Earth, this thing will not exist. All right? Only will exist going forward with all the people who are going to go down with the doubles program. Okay? All the ones who are going to go on with the get along gang, the ones who are going to take the, you know what, those guys. All right? Those are the guys that is going to move forward with the progress of this AI enslaving them. All the rest of you is going to go up as you ride this planet vibrationally higher up to the sun as the hypernova, not a supernova. The hypernova happens and the day limits happens all at the same time. Remember everything that you ever forgotten from every single lifetime, even to when you was in mother or papa ether, although it doesn't have a private part. So you take that for what that's worth. All right. So you remember everything. And on that day, as they said, Big Mama say go. They talking about the ether. It'll be go time. And what they're saying is, everything and our mind will be as one on one accord, because it's only one. We are all one. We are all each other. Now that you finally paid back that debt and you're ready to get up out of here, all I can say to you is I love you. Make sure y'all keep on going strong. And peace and love. Before I go, though, you might as well hear one more good tune, right? Why not?
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, should I get better? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be?
I get better. I get better. I get better. I get better. Yeah, I get better. I get better. Harder than a Gucci sweater. I get better. Just so clever. I get better. I get better. Yeah, I get better. Just so clever. I get better. 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 Just too clever. Teaching for a long time. Teaching nothing but facts. Man, you must be out of your mind. I get better. I get better. I ain't walking leather. Just too clever. I get better. 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 I'm whole, hardcore. You can't stop me. No way to stop me. No way to stop me. No way to block me. Don't get on my topic. I'll go ahead and rock it. I get better. I get better. I get better. Watch the leather. Watch that leather. I get better. I put it together. I put it together. Ain't no fooling me. That third eye open. Going berserking. You're teaching that wrong things, but I get better. I get better. So hard than a cookie sweater. I get better. I ain't walking leather, but it gets it together. I get better. Been doing it for a long time. Teaching hard all the time. Going hard, doing live. Out of mind. Can't stop it. Can't stop it. I get better. I get better. I rock it better. I get better. I get better. I wear a leather. I get better. I get better. Go berserk in the studio. Teaching so hard. How you fall like, oh my. See, I get better. 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 I put it all together. And you can stop it, cause the truth is so hard. That's all I teach, the facts, anything else is waxy. I get better. I don't do no religious superstition. See, I get better. I get better. I get better. And I ain't walking the leather. I get better. Oh my goodness. I get better.
Peace and love, everybody. Have a wonderful day and a great rest.